Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
The warmer air has arrived. You'll feel it first thing as you step out the door. Kids at the bus stop probably just need a jacket this morning with temperatures in the mid 40s to near 50. And then a nice warm up today. I'll show you how many more days will be in the 70s.
Calling for change. Teachers will be protesting across Wake County this morning. Their demands and how this could affect students in the classroom today.
Plus, new video appearing to show the moments before Ryan Camacho was arrested for the murder of a Raleigh teacher. What a woman nearby says she saw just moments before that arrest. We're continuing to dig into that story. It's obviously very serious, and we'll try to get you more updates here on WRAL News. We want to first start by saying thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. Welcome to your Wednesday. It is going to be a warm one. January going to feel like more like April, Elizabeth. We might hit 70 today.
It is. We're going to be close to record highs, especially Friday and Saturday. And we do have some showers in the forecast for Saturday, but it is not likely to ruin your weekend completely. Heading out the door this morning, we do have some cloud cover. You remember we saw some of that yesterday, so we're going to be watching out for some patchy fog. First of all, we'll take a look at our Garner Tower, and you can see just a little bit of cloud cover hanging over Raleigh and Garner right now. 48 is our temperature. Our wind is out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour, so that's what's bringing all the warm air in. It's 45 in Roxborough and 53 in Fayetteville, so we have a wide range in our temperatures, but they're all warm. As a matter of fact, anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, so that's something that you'll notice. Watching visibility earlier, Roxborough had dropped down to 1/4 of a mile, which we would consider fog. We're not looking at that right now, but we'll keep our eye on it. More cloud cover this morning, more sunshine this afternoon. Our cloud cover goes down to less than 10% later on today, and that's when our temperatures climb into the low 70s. We'll talk more about the warm temperatures coming up in just a little bit. Ken?
Elizabeth, a rather quiet start to the morning commute. Let's see a live look at I-40 and Wade Avenue right now. Traffic flowing at a nice steady clip in all directions, and that's indicative of what we're seeing on all of our major routes coming into the Raleigh-Wake County area. No delays whatsoever. You're coming in on I-40 eastbound. Maybe you're coming from Wake Forest and US 1 south. Even coming in from Knightdale, no delays whatsoever to report. But you getting ready to head into the cartoonist in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Teachers in our area today will be rallying for better pay and health care. There will be demonstrations at several key intersections across Wake County. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in Raleigh, where one of the protests is set to happen. And Kelsey, schools will be dealing with a lot of teacher absences today.
Yes, Renee, that's what a lot of schools will be dealing with this morning. The intersection of Capitol Boulevard and Old Wake Forest Road here is just one of 11 locations where teachers will be protesting. Organizers say at least 250 teachers plan to call out today. And here's what they're demanding. They want higher pay for advanced degrees, a cap on healthcare premium increases, unfreezing experience pay increases, and the restoration of health benefits when teachers retire. Wake School says they don't anticipate any disruptions for the school day. That's because 98% of the substitute teacher requests have already been filled. Mills Park Elementary School teacher Caitlin Dow was participating in today's call out. She says not paying teachers for their advanced degrees or experience will discourage people from joining the field.
When you start to nitpick all these things away, it's like, who's going to enter into these fields? You know, if I had a daughter, I don't think I would recommend going into education just because of how bad things are.
So we'll be sure to stay on top of what's happening out here as these protests will start across Wake County. Organizers say that this is not just going to be a one-time event. They plan to do a walkout at least once a month until April. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
We're following some breaking news right now in Fayetteville this morning. Police are investigating a crash that happened early this morning. I want to show you some video from the WRAL breaking news tracker at West Mountain Drive and Gillespie Street. Still trying to figure out, though, what led up to that crash and if there were any injuries in this.
Raleigh police are looking for 2 men after they say a gun went off during an attempted traffic stop. Police say Jose Collado and Norvell Young are both on the run this morning. Collado is wanted on weapons charges and resisting an officer. Young is wanted on a charge of felony flee to elude arrest. This all happened yesterday afternoon at New Bern Avenue and Beacon Lake Drive. Police say officers were trying to pull over a car when Collado got out with the gun and ran away. Police say he dropped the gun during the chase and it went off. Police say Young was still in the car and drove away. Nobody was hurt. Highway Patrol is assisting with the search.
Deputies are investigating after someone shot into a home in Wake County. And the sheriff's office responded to reports of shots being fired around 7 last night on Barrington Drive. This was near southeast Raleigh. When they arrived, they found a bullet hole in a home, but despite gunshots being fired, no one was injured. So happening today, we are expecting to get answers from Rocky Mount leaders about issues with people's utilities bill. This is a story that WRAL's Ali Kadabar has been following for us here at WRAL. Ali, several people have reached out to us about this, saying they were billed 2 times in a short time period.
And Chris, they're saying that they're frustrated, and this all comes as the state auditor's office is investigating the city's financial troubles. Those troubles leading to an increase in natural gas and electricity rates. Today, people who live in Rocky Mount are hoping to get answers about this other issue with their bills. And we saw lines of people at the Rocky Mount Business Services Center earlier this week. Residents tell us they were frustrated and confused when they got their most recent utility bill, showing they owe double what they usually pay. In a statement last week, a spokesperson for the city said that the typical 30-day payment window was inadvertently extended for some customers. They say to correct that, it led to back-to-back bills, but that no one was overpaying. Residents tell us they disagree.
They're claiming to switch it from a 60-day pay period to a 30-day pay period, but we've been paying every month. So that doesn't make sense. That doesn't calculate.
A lot of confusion here, and Rocky Mount Council member Tom Harris shared a statement with us saying, "I'm hoping this meeting will offer a clear explanation of exactly what transpired." That special meeting is this afternoon at 2 p.m. WRAL will be there. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadabar, WRAL News.
New this morning, the FAA is investigating after a tire blowout at Atlanta's airport. This happened late last night, and that plane was landing in Atlanta from Peru. The FAA says the tires blew out on the rear landing gear after landing, but it appears no one was injured. However, the FAA is still looking into what caused that blowout.
This morning, we are learning about the moments just before Ryan Camacho was arrested by Raleigh police. Camacho is accused of murdering Ravenscroft teacher Zoe Welsh over the weekend. Take a look at this security video that was shared with WRAL. It appears to show Camacho just 2 hours after Welsh was killed. The video was captured just minutes before he was arrested on Whitaker Mill Road. Now, the murder happened about a mile away on Clay Street. A neighbor who spotted Camacho says he didn't seem to be in a hurry.
He kind of caught my eye, not in a good way. And then the dog next door barked at him, and he stopped and leaned over the fence and spit on the dog, which I thought was disturbing behavior.
We're also getting a first look at posts Camacho seems to have made 7 years ago on Nextdoor. An account matching his name, location, and appearance commented after one neighbor experienced a burglary in the Five Points area. The comment read in part, "Be careful leaving your home when you go to work. They like to break in when they see someone leaving the driveway. They also like to break into homes in broad daylight."
And Renee, Governor Josh Stein says that Zoe Welsh's murder is heartbreaking. Yesterday, he expressed support for mental health reform and says more needs to be done.
We are not doing a good enough job treating those folks. There are initiatives out there. She should be alive. She should be in school teaching today. So it's heartbreaking that she's not.
The governor also said he has friends whose children were some of Welsh's students. And you can count on WRAL to keep asking questions about this story as we cover new developments. You can find our reporting on this story on WRAL.com and our WRAL News app. You can also find our full interview with Governor Josh Stein on our WRAL YouTube page.
Happening today, students and faculty at UNC Chapel Hill are planning to rally against proposed cuts to international education centers at the school. The UNC chapter of the American Association of University Professors says they learned of the new proposal over the holidays. They are planning to rally outside the South Building on campus at noon.
The state auditor says North Carolina can save hundreds of millions of dollars if it can cut vacant state government jobs, specifically ones that have been vacant for 6 months or longer. Dave Bullock told lawmakers that yesterday. Last year, they asked the auditor's office to identify ways the state government could save money. Bullock says as of August, 8,000 of the state's jobs were vacant for at least half a year. That's about 11% of state positions.
Today, we'll hear from Carolina Panthers coaches and players as they are preparing for their playoff matchup with the LA Rams. Back in November, the Panthers upset the Rams at Bank of America Stadium. The team will need another clutch performance from quarterback Bryce Young on Saturday. He says he is ready for his NFL playoff debut.
Great opportunity. Super excited. And then now it's about, making something out of it. We have to make sure, today was a good start, but we have to make sure that we're dialed into the process. We have elite focus throughout the week to give us ourselves the best chance this weekend.
You can watch the game. It will be on Fox 50. Saturday's kickoff is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. And our coverage will get started Friday. Chris Lee, Pat Welter, Ashley Rowe, and Sean Gallagher will be in Charlotte ahead of the game.
Your time is 6:10 this morning. Brothers killed in Fayetteville, a community in mourning after a shooting at a restaurant. How people are dealing with that unexpected loss.
Trial delayed. The case against a former Uvalde school officer takes an unexpected turn. How the judge will decide what comes next.
And just like yesterday, it could be a bit breezy this afternoon. Our winds out of the southwest gusting about 15 to 20 miles per hour. That's what's helping to bring the warm air in. I'll show you when we could hit some records.
We also have your Mega Millions numbers right here on your screen. 9, 39, 47, 58, 68, and your gold Mega Ball is 24.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, that warm air has arrived. Our temperatures are much warmer this morning than yesterday, so probably all you need is a jacket and not that heaviest winter coat. 51 in Wilson, 48 in Durham, and 52 in Fayetteville. With this warm air, we also have more moisture in our area, so we're watching out for some patchy fog. The visibility just dropped back down from a mile to a quarter of a mile in Roxborough. So yesterday, most of the fog that we saw was up near the Virginia line. Visibility has dropped down to 2 miles in Goldsboro and Clinton. Not too concerning yet, but just keep your eye out for it. You can see where we've had some cloud cover move in and kind of drift across the middle of the viewing area. These clouds aren't going to last all day. We'll see increasing sunshine through the afternoon, and that will allow our temperatures to warm up nicely. Should be great for getting outside. Lunchtime, 67. We'll see 71 this afternoon. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk about our next best chance of rain this weekend. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now at the WRAL Traffic Center. As you know, several hundred Wake County teachers are expected to protest at many of these intersections that you see right here on your screen. Of course, Kelsey Coffey's at Capitol and Old Wake Forest Road. There's Davis on High House, the NC State Bell Tower. Any of these intersections look familiar to you, we'll be monitoring them and let you know how it's going to affect your morning commute. But of course, right now it's a rather quiet start to your morning commute. No delays whatsoever on any of our major routes. But of course, we're keeping an eye on that and let you know if that changes.
Yeah, we'll certainly follow the teacher protests as they unfold this morning. Police are asking for information in the shooting deaths of 2 brothers at a restaurant in Fayetteville. This as we're learning more about the victims, Timothy and Daniel Nakamoto. That shooting happened at North McPherson Church Road on Saturday night. Officers say the 2 brothers were shot after an argument escalated into a fight. A person of interest was detained, but police are still investigating. Now the family and friends of Timothy and Daniel Nakamoto are trying to make sense of this.
The notion of why do bad things happen to good people? And that becoming so close to home, it's like you just never expected that it would be that close to home.
Police are encouraging anyone who is around during the time of the shooting to contact them.
President Donald Trump says Venezuela is set to turn over tens of millions of barrels of oil to the U.S. In a Truth Social post, he said the interim authorities in Venezuela will be turning over between 30 and 50 million barrels. He also said the oil will be sold at market value and the money will be used to benefit both the U.S. and Venezuela. And this announcement was made after the U.S. captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife.
And happening now here in the WRAL Live Center after that announcement, we are tracking those oil prices this morning. We are tracking the oil prices this morning here in the WRAL Live Center. We know that the oil prices fell. This is a look at Brent crude this morning futures, which fell 35% or 0.6%. That's about $60, so a little more than $60 a barrel, something that we're keeping an eye on following that news from Donald Trump saying that they've reached a deal to import up to $2 billion worth of Venezuelan crude oil.
Laura, thank you. The White House says President Trump is also discussing options for acquiring Greenland and that using the U.S. military is not off the table. The White House press secretary says the president views acquiring Greenland as a national security priority. The president has been outspoken about Greenland since taking office last year. Greenland is a self-governing territory of Denmark and a NATO nation. European leaders have been vocally against Trump on this issue, and the Prime Minister of Denmark says a U.S. military attack on Greenland would effectively end NATO.
Testimony in the trial of a former Uvalde school police officer is being called off today. The judge told jurors specifically, do not come to court today. Adrian Gonzalez is facing charges in connection to his response to the deadly 2022 shooting at Robb Elementary. The judge's order was made after a former teacher shared details in her testimony. The defense says they didn't know. Even the DA says she was surprised by the testimony. And so the judge is expected to meet with lawyers today to discuss how they can move forward.
Looking ahead, Raleigh Convention Center leaders hope to start hosting events again this month. This comes a little more than a month after a fire broke out on the roof. It caused an estimated $2 million in damage at the venue. In an update to City Council yesterday, Convention Center officials say they expect to get occupancy certification in the next few days. And once that happens, then they can start hosting events. The council also approved a temporary resolution to give the city manager the authority to approve contracts during this recovery period.
All right, switching over to weather right now. As advertised, we've got some warmer conditions that are here. It was nice waking up, not have to preheat the car or the puffy coat, just a light jacket walking out the house.
It really felt good, didn't it, heading out? And, you know, it's going to be a great day to get out with Jordy.
Yes,
or, you know, whatever you're doing this afternoon, it's going to be great. We're going to take a walk over here and talk about our next weather maker. First of all, we have this nice flow coming out of the south. That's what's brought us all this warmth coming right out of the tropics. But we have this cold front here. That's going to drop our temperatures just a little bit for tomorrow. And then another front taking shape will come through and help to bump up our temperatures again as we get into the day on Friday and Saturday. And that's when we could end up seeing the potential for some record highs. Check out Franklinton this morning. Things are nice and quiet as you're heading out the door. Right now it's 48 degrees. We have that southwest wind at 5 miles per hour. And just like yesterday, the chance of a little bit of fog out there. We're looking at the potential for near record warmth on Friday and Saturday. And then we have that chance of rain with that more potent front that comes through. It could bring some severe storms to parts of the country, but for us, it's likely to bring some showers late Saturday into Saturday night and probably out of here pretty quickly on Sunday. Let's back up and start on Friday close in so you can see exactly what's going to happen in your neighborhood. This is 5 a.m. on Friday. Friday's probably going to be fairly cloudy ahead of that front. It'll be nice and warm, but we could be stuck under the clouds with the potential for a quick sprinkle. Nothing really measurable coming out of that. And then Saturday, same story. Here's 6 a.m. The clouds linger, and then it's going to be fairly late in the day before we see rain. The best chance of that line coming through will be around 7 or 8 o'clock, and then it starts to clear as we get into Sunday morning. Not looking at any storms with this, but just some scattered light rain Saturday night, and then maybe into very early Sunday. The amount of rain that we see is going to be pretty minimal, only around 1/4 inch. Much more rain as that front stalls for a bit in western North Carolina, up to 1 inch to 2 inches. We need right here 4 to 6 inches in a month to make up for the drought that we've seen over the last several months, but it will only see about 1/4 inch on Saturday. Temperatures will definitely be warm. 72 on Friday. That's going to be very close to a record high. And same story as we get into Saturday too. Temperatures will be well above normal. But Ken, here's what to be on the lookout for. Sunday it'll start warm, but temperatures will drop through the afternoon.
Layers.
Layers, yes.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Elizabeth. So listen, we got a troubled spot brewing right now on 885 in the southbound lanes, right near the Highway 70 interchange. So if you're coming in on 885, maybe you're coming in from Roxbow, you might want to take Highway 70 as an alternate route to avoid the slowdowns that we're seeing because of a crash there at the 885 Highway 70 interchange. Here's a live look at I-40 and Harrison Avenue. All those major routes coming into the Raleigh-Wade County area delay-free at this hour. So you're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Saving in the new year. 5 Under Side has the best deals you can expect after the holiday shopping rush.
And surviving in a tough time. How a North Carolina public radio station is still going strong in an industry where jobs are fading fast. Well, despite federal funding cuts, a public radio station in our state is surviving. Public Radio East in New Bern has been on the air for more than 40 years. If you didn't know, it covers parts of eastern North Carolina. Well, they're used to having support from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but spending cuts last summer, you remember those? That stripped the organization of more than $1 billion in funding. But despite those cuts, the station manager says they have been running totally on community donations.
We do not have that $144,000 that we were counting on to operate this year. So now we are relying on the community of Eastern North Carolina to step up and support us.
And step up they did. This week, a $100,000 antenna replacement project was completed, and listeners paid 100% of it.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
The reboot of Star Search and a popular Stranger Things fan theory appears to be put to rest.
Goodness, Star Search. I haven't heard of that in a long time. Can't submit to talk about it. What's trending?
So we'll get to Stranger Things in just a little bit, but let's start with Netflix's reboot of Star Search. The new judges have been announced for this once very popular 80s and 90s show. Singer and rapper Jelly Roll, actress Sarah Michelle Gellar, and model Chrissy Teigen will headline the judges' table. The 5-week competition premieres January 20th.
Yeah, new episodes will drop on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I mean, this was the talent show that the whole nation watched in the 80s and 90s. And it launched the careers of like, oh, have you heard of Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears?
America's Got Talent before America's Got Talent.
Exactly.
The original.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Netflix's Stranger Things trending this morning because of an online theory of a secret Stranger Things episode. Of course, all the episodes are streaming right now. This popular theory called Conformity Gate has been reported by several outlets. It speculates the recent series finale was not the final episode and that a new one is on the way.
And yet it was the final one, dropped on New Year's Eve. People let it go. I love Stranger Things, but fans need to learn to let things die.
Final means final.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ken, thank you. It is 6:26, calling for change. Teachers will be protesting across Wake County this morning. The demands from educators and how this could affect students in the classroom today.
And utility bill headaches. We are expecting to get new information from Rocky Mount today after people reported getting back-to-back bills.
And a break from our winter chill means you might want to spend your lunch hour outside today. We don't get to do that very often in January. I'll show you how many more days will feel comfortable coming up.
And here's a look at your winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers. We'll be right back.